Hi Cancer, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. Check them out for all three so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, for your key to the week, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel and you want some of that Rafi love, hit the subscribe button and please don't forget to like and share. So, your key to the week this week, the Hierophant card. Okay, so in a lot of ways, this will see you paying attention to the sort of more mundane, but it also looks like you're paying attention to the current status quo of your lifescape, right? The thing with the Hierophant card, this can see us interacting with bigger or larger institutions. It can sometimes be where our faith is called into question or we need to lean on it in a much more practical way as well. So in all of these different areas of life, it's also possible that you could be dealing with or working with bigger or larger institutions. For your actions and options, you've got the Judgment card, right? So, I don't want to call this a crisis of faith, but it does feel like a pretty big moment. I feel like this week presents you like a lot of the actions that you're taking. It's like your faith is not shaken, but it's lent on to the point where you kind of feel like, yeah, this, you know, my faith is either working for me or against me, whatever the case might be. Another way that this potentially shows up is you could have an interaction or what you would consider a spiritual or a very religious, a very profound religious or spiritual experience. It's not quite an awakening. And the reason I say that is because the Hierophant is a bit more real world than that. But there is some kind of big shift around your consciousness when it comes to all of these things. Now, in terms of the options that are available to you, profound change. There's going to be something. Now, the Hierophant card can also represent marriage. So this could be a change in your marriage if you're married or partnered. Could be a big change in a relationship that really sees you on a new path or on a new trajectory in some way. And it could also be that you have a really profound message of some sort come through. Now, if this is the case, so as many of you know, I was raised Greek Orthodox. Well, I was actually raised Catholic, but that's because my mum's side of my family are Greek Orthodox. My dad's side of my family are Christians and born again Christians. And one of the things that this, you know, I had huge conflicts, you can imagine, right? Because it's just not my way, right? He says as he casually drops more tarot cards on the table. And so it was a real challenge for me, right? But what I have realised is that the older I've gotten, now that religion, somebody else's religion isn't being shoved down my throat to the point where I can't breathe, I've had moments where I've been at churches for weddings or funerals or whatever, and I've had really wonderful moments being a part of something like that. This week you might have one of those moments, especially if you've come from a similar background to mine. You might have a moment where you can see something and you can appreciate it, but it's a really profound moment for you. All right. Now, in terms of the options that are available to you, as I said, big changes. When it comes to your communications and conversations, you've got the Four of Wands. I love this with the Hierophant card because this is communication coming in about your home and potentially around your career. That is some very, very good news or very welcome news. Remember, the Four of Wands also represents the foundation of your home. And with the Judgment card, this is likely to be some kind of conversation or interaction with somebody who we would consider like a present elder or a present ancestor. So this would be like a parent or a grandparent, somebody that's still alive. There's a conversation that really brings you a lot of happiness, that really brings you a lot of joy, that gives you a completely different perspective. Now, in terms of your work, your profession or your career, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, that Four of Wands is you celebrating how far you've come with something. With the Hierophant card, this is potentially as well for those of you that are studying, for those of you that are employed by somebody else, you could be moving towards some form of teaching, and this would be in a very official capacity as well. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, one way that this might show up for you is that you get new responsibilities through the work, or you get a promotion of some sort. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is an influx of new clients, and there's when I say a celebration, it's not just like, oh yeah, I'm part of a celebration. This is you celebrating an elevation of your business in some way, shape or form. This is you seeing new heights that you can go to with the work that you do, with the work that you love, with the things that you put out into the world. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, this is good news around the home, and I actually would say this is good news around the home for all of you. So I'll be interested to see what the home card is, because this suggests that through the family, through the familial ties, there's really good news coming in that potentially even has a financially good slant to it as well. For your love and relations, you've got the Knight of Pentacles. So those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, especially for those of you that have been in your partnership or your marriage for like 10 plus years, or approaching 10 years, like a decade, right? This suggests that the hard work, the effort, the toil that you've put into keeping your marriage, your relationship happy and healthy, or even, you know what, it's not happy, it's not healthy, it's been on its last legs for the longest time, but we've stuck it out. This could be the week where you see a breakthrough. This could be the week where you kind of feel like, okay, yeah, now we're able to move forward. The other thing with this as well, there's some form of breakthrough with the relationship. That's the Judgment card, but there's also potentially some kind of return to a place that you either lived in before, or a place that was actually, like, let's say you lived in a place before where you're at now, and you think, when we were in that place, we were actually really happy. You could be taking a visit back to a place that you lived in with your significant other. That's very possible. But as I say, the hard work that you've done on your relationship, I think this week you will see a breakthrough. Remember, this is the marriage card as well. When it comes to those of you that are single and looking, this could be on your travels that you meet somebody that you just can't get enough of. It could be that you travel to a place that you've already lived in before. Maybe you go back to your hometown and you end up connecting with someone and you're like, holy crap, like, what are the odds that I would meet somebody in this place, right? There's also potentially a road trip on the horizon for those of you that are partnered as well. Wow. So you've got the High Priest and the High Priestess, right? That's what the Hierophant is. A proselytizer, right? A teacher of knowledge, a rector of some sort. So the other thing that comes up here, remember the High Priestess is hidden things revealed. When it comes to your money specifically, this with the Hierophant card, this could be hidden money or hidden funds that come to you. This could be money that has been inherited or money that's been left to you that you weren't even aware of until this week. There's going to be some moment around finances this week that when it happens, you're just like, holy crap, like I had no idea this was even going to happen or this was a thing. Very interesting, and it's likely to come from a family member. It may even be that living elder or that living ancestor comes to you and says, look, this was going to be part of your inheritance, but actually I feel like you need this now, please let me give it to you. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is the waters of the body, like all of the waters of your body. And with the Hierophant card, this could be literally you doing some form of a blessing on your physical body. It could also be some kind of a blessing on your home as well. And speaking of home, as I was saying earlier, this is something around your home, especially with the Hierophant card. You might have this profoundly spiritual or religious experience that you have this week, may be something that you have at home or through the heritage in some way. There's a lot of really interesting energy this week, and I'll be intrigued to see how it shows up. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I'll see you soon.